Hi, I'm Kevin with Creative Digital Media, and in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the SEO trends that are taking place now in 2019 and that I predict will take place going into 2020 and beyond. Diving right in, first up is user intent, also referred to as search intent, and essentially this is the why behind a search. Why is somebody conducting a certain search? What are they looking for? What do they intend to accomplish? So identifying the intent behind a search, or identifying the intent that will lead users to finding your website, enables you to then create content that will fulfill the user intent and will satisfy users and keep them on your website longer. So identifying basically what people are looking to accomplish when they're searching on Google, you can basically reverse engineer or backwards analyze those searches and determine what forms of content, and then more specifically what content is going to fulfill that search intent and satisfy users, and that will signal to Google that your website is providing value and is fulfilling that intent. So it's satisfying those searchers enough to where they don't have to go back to Google to continue looking for the answers or the information that they're looking for. Google views that very positively, and it's a very strong signal that will improve your website's rankings, because Google is all about fulfilling or satisfying user intent, and they're more apt to send users to your website if, when they arrive at your website, users are able to accomplish their goals or fulfilling the search intent or user intent. Next up is mobile-friendly design. Your website needs to be mobile-friendly. The majority of people, when they're out and about, going shopping or just out during the day, use their cell phones to get from points A to B and to find businesses or products and services that they're looking for. In order for users to find your website, it has to be mobile friendly, because Google's not going to send users to your website if it doesn't provide a positive user experience on a mobile device. More than half of users, I think it's like 57%, probably even higher now, are browsing the internet on a mobile device. So your website needs to be responsive and look good on whatever device a user is searching on. If they're on their phones, it needs to look good on a phone, and if they're on a desktop, it needs to look good on a desktop, and then every device in between. You can test your website if you just go to Google and search for mobile friendly test. Google provides a free tool that you can enter the URL of your website or a web page, and it will test that page and tell you whether it is mobile responsive or not. If it is not, it'll tell you what you need to do to improve the mobile friendliness of that particular page. Depending on what content management system you're using for your website, you'll have different options available to you. I personally use WordPress and recommend that you use WordPress unless you're using or have like a Shopify store, which your site should automatically be mobile responsive. But with WordPress, there's an entire industry around building and selling themes, which are basically website templates that are designed by professional designers that you can install on your WordPress website and then edit the images and the content to suit your business or to match your branding. Number 3 is schema markup. Schema can be pretty confusing. Schema is essentially a common language that was developed by search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo in order to understand what websites are about, and also to identify and interpret certain information on a website, such as like your name, address, and phone number, or your NAP information. If you have reviews on your website, SCHEMA markup enables that information to then be displayed in the search results. Number 4 is voice search. With the ubiquity of cell phones, a lot of people are searching using just their voice. It's easier than having to type in a question in the search engines, and the voice searches are estimated to be 50% of all searches by 2020. And with the increasing prevalence of home assistants like Google Home or Amazon Alexa, voice searches are only going to continue to be more prevalent. So optimizing your website for search terms that are used or that are spoken, as opposed to search terms that are typed into search engines, which are more commonly truncated and only consist of a few words, whereas voice searches can be a much longer sequence of words, like 7 to 10 words, that provide the search engines with a lot more information and enable them to deliver more accurate results. So identifying how your target audience speaks and what types of questions that they're likely to speak into a search device such as their phone or a home assistant enables you to optimize your content around those terms instead of just the shorter tail keywords that are only 2 or 3, maybe 4 words. Number 5 is original content. Creating unique and original content is extremely important. That's the foundation of SEO, is text content. That's what Google, these search engine spiders, basically crawl the internet to index web pages based on the text content that exists on them. So by creating unique and original content that's educational and informative, focusing on quality over quantity will help to keep users on your site longer, because your content is better satisfying what we covered in the beginning, the user intent or search intent, and is providing a lot more value to searchers. Number 6 is reviews. Reviews are extremely important, and Google makes it really easy to get reviews and to interact with reviewers. You can send a link to your customers and request a review, and then you can thank those customers. If you get a negative review, you can respond to the negative review, which is actually more important than responding to positive reviews. When you respond to negative reviews, you're not doing it to win over whoever left the negative review. You respond to negative reviews to win over the people that come later and read reviews in order to influence their purchasing decisions. I think the average consumer, when searching for, say, a local business, will read like 7 to 11 reviews, something in that range, before making a decision with which business or which product to go with. So the more reviews you can get for your business, the better that's going to make you look in Google's eyes, and obviously in consumer eyes, or in the eyes of the consumer. Number 7 is video. Video is extremely popular and is only going to get more popular because it's a lot easier to watch a video on your phone than it is to read a blog post. More and more people are beginning to create video content, and more people still are consuming voraciously on YouTube or through Wistia or any number of other video channels. The primary one being YouTube, which is owned by Google. It's also the second largest search engine that people turn to when they're trying to answer questions or to solve a problem or to learn about products or services that you might offer. So creating educational or informative video content enables you to not only connect with your prospective customers or your audience far better than text content, but it also will help you significantly in ranking in search engines, because Google wants to promote video content and wants people to view video content, because the more video content people watch, the more ads Google can show to them. So they're perfectly happy showing video content, and I can speak from experience. When I started creating YouTube videos, which I've only just recently started, but as soon as I started and began making videos that accompanied the really long form blog posts that I had created, my rankings and the traffic coming to my website started increasing significantly. And I have a relatively new website. It's only a few months old. But once I began creating video content and optimizing that video content for search engines and embedding it in my blog posts, it instantly began increasing the traffic to my website significantly. So I can speak from experience that video certainly does help with your website's SEO, and I highly recommend creating videos. It kind of is weird at first, but definitely recommend doing it. It's definitely worth it. Number 8 is interactive SERPs, or search engine results pages. And by this I mean the first bullet point, which is when you perform a search on Google, there's usually in like the middle of the page, there's a box that says people also ask. And that shows you similar questions that other users have typed into Google. If you click on any one of those, it then not repopulates, but it adds even more people also ask searches. And if you click on yet another one, it'll just add even more. So you can end up with a huge list of questions that searchers are actually typing into Google. And you can use those to basically reverse engineer what those searchers are intending to accomplish based on their different searches. And you can then create content that fulfills that search intent. The interactivity of the SERPs, or the people also ask boxes, also keep people on the search results longer, and it helps Google understand what users are actually seeking or what they're trying to accomplish when conducting certain searches. Number 9 is new search engine results pages, or SERP features. Essentially, Google's going to replace more of the organic results, or more of the organic results real estate, with new search result features. Like featured snippets now take up the top third of the search results page and push the organic results further down the page. Basically, the organic results are going to become a more scarce real estate that's increasingly valuable, because with the more ads that Google places at the top of the search results, people are increasingly clicking on the organic results because most people don't trust ads. They tend to ignore them, or if they have an ad blocker in their browser, they may not see them at all. So ranking organically is, in my opinion, and I think that's pretty easy to see the trend that it's becoming more and more valuable given how much space Google is giving to these new features that take up more and more organic real estate or replace organic results. And 10, this is the last SEO trend, is user experience. User experience is extremely important because when your website provides a good user experience, it keeps people on your website longer. The longer people are on your website, the better that looks to Google. When people stick around on your website and are engaging with your content or are consuming your content, that basically means to Google that your website is providing a lot of value and is in some way fulfilling the search intent or the user intent and is satisfying searchers. Also, a good user experience makes it easy for users to navigate your website. So having a good navigation and also a strong internal linking structure, which are links from one page on your website to another page on your website, which should be done in such a way that it creates silos of content about basically each silo being a different topic. And the internal links connect the pages within each individual silo, creating essentially like information hierarchies that provide users with more information about a particular topic instead of just sending them all over the place to random internally linked to pages that don't necessarily pertain to what they were originally reading or learning about, or whatever the content was originally about. So proper internal link structure will create an information hierarchy and also segment different areas of your site into topical silos that keep users engaged and provide value and keep them on your website, thereby increasing your dwell time, which is how long a user spends on a particular page or on your website as a whole. And the higher or the longer your dwell time, the stronger that signal is to Google that your website's doing something right, basically. Like you're providing value to users that's encouraging them to stick around. And Google will thereby reward that or your website with better rankings, because Google wants to provide its users with the best possible experience and the most value anytime they conduct a search. That's it for the SEO trends that are, I guess, that I'm seeing now in 2019 and that I think you can expect to become more prevalent moving forward in 2020 and beyond. I think the biggest thing is satisfying or fulfilling user intent and voice search. Those two are going to be massively important moving forward, because more and more people are going to begin to adopt these home assistants like Alexa or Google Home, and it's much easier to just ask your Alexa a question than it is to pull out your phone or get on your computer and conduct a search. And a lot of these devices don't have screens. The device is going to be reading content from your website. That content needs to provide as much value as possible. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some value or enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to the channel. I just took a trip across the country to Massachusetts and back, so I didn't create a video for a few days, but I'm back in Arizona now and I'm going to be back on creating content on a more consistent basis. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and have a great day.